Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rakakodash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing this word out across the four corners of the world. And as you can see from this photo, two so-called rappers, and on the left-hand side, a rapper by the name of Rich the Kid. And on the right-hand side, a Chicago artist by the name of Famous Dex. And as you can see, one of them is rocking that man purse, and they have two teddy bears on their backs. Just straight effeminate energy. And within the middle, I want to say that's a jeweler with his hands around them smiling. But notice the caption. The shit we do for the money might be hard to believe. And it's really not hard to believe, especially concerning a Jake with a 2/3 mindset. And that's why Yahweh told those wicked Jews that you are your father, the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do, which traces back into that serpent within the garden that beguiled Eve. And that serpent goes into like a sly, treacherous, or contemptible person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it. So therefore, a person with that type of mindset who are willing to take it to the limits, which means that they would do anything in order for them to gain something, which means by losing your soul or your morality in order to gain the so-called carnal riches within this world. And that takes me right to Isaiah 28 verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled. And that word covenant goes into like an agreement, a pact, a deal, a contract. And let's use those definitions within the terms of this wicked music industry, where you have these different artists that's very hungry and thirsty for attention and eagerly willing to give up their values to only obtain carnal riches, so-called success, glory, or fame that's all short-lived. Because at the end of the day, these different Edomite music executives within this Hollywood industry, they know exactly who our people are, which are the biblical Israelites. And they are willing to pay these different J artists top dollar in order for them to sell their moral codes just to propagate this evil Hollywood's agenda upon a wider scale. And that type of domino effect of negative energy will even have more Jakes to be readily available to lose their moral codes. And again, it's all short-lived, because the mindset of Jake, they want to chase this microwave success, which means that they want to escape the curses that pertains to the biblical Israelites. And once you sell out, they indirectly believe that the curses would just leave just like that. And that's when their so-called conscience start kicking in of all the perverted things they had to do in order to get this so-called success, fame, or so-called riches. Then they want that escape route by tattooing all over your body, getting on all these drugs in order to escape, but only to find out you were much better from a spiritual or mental aspect before you even signed the contract or made that pact. So now you're even worse off by making that covenant with death, because you're a public figure and you have more negative influence upon your people and influencing them to go down that road to destruction. So again, Isaiah 28 verse 18, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, which means that that contract or agreement will be voided out because you forgot who you made that deal with, the tabernacle of Edom, which is the top arch enemy to the Israelites. And according to Ecclesiasticus, the 12th chapter, is stated, never trust thy enemy. So therefore, your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell should not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you should be trodden down by it. And you see the many examples of Esau showing you this time and time over again. They will snatch one of these different Jakes that come out of these poverty-stricken neighborhoods or environments, set him or her on that pedestal, and reach that plateau of all type of achievements, awards, success, fame, riches, and the list goes on. And once this particular artist have achieved all of these different objectives that these music executives has set for them, then what's next? They will discard them and toss them to the side, put them on a shelf, and they will barely be within that spotlight as they were within their so-called prime. And that's just a continuous cycle within that Hollywood entertainment industry. They build you up only to tear you down. And that takes me right to Isaiah 52:1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. And the only ones who are predestined to awake out of that spiritual slumber and to put on those beautiful garments, which represents the truth. Because when you read Revelation 16:15, it goes into about blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. Again, referencing to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And that's only for the elect of the nation of Israel, who are going to deny the fashion of this world and this image of the beast system. So it says, for henceforth there should no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean, which represents 2/3 of our people. And that's why it's stated within Daniel, the 12th chapter, how none of the wicked should understand. We already know the wicked is referring to Esau, Edom, trickling on down to 2/3 of our people that have that same mindset as Esau, Edom, who has that same spirit as the serpent, Cain, and Esau, who are willing to take it to the limits in order to obtain or chase that instant gratification. And that's the price of fame and glory within this modern society. Because you have to consider, was it worth the cost in terms of the problems it led to or the sacrifices they required? Verse 2, shake thyself from the dust, which represents that state of confusion. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captain daughter of Zion. And again, the only ones that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua has preordained with that mindset is only the elect of the nation of Israel. Verse 3, for thus said the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and you should be redeemed without money. And that's the price of fame or glory within this modern society. Because a lot of you jakes, you come out to the open and you feel sorry for what you did, because you knew it may not have been worth the cost in terms that led to those wicked sacrifices that were required. And on top of that, as it says right here, you sold yourselves for naught, which means nothing, because this American money is about to be wiped out of the global economy, and where this currency will go digital. So therefore they give you all this so-called money for these different contracts and deals, and already knowing it's not going to be in use for future times. And again, that's your error for making that covenant with death, because you did not take into consideration who you're making that deal with, which is your top enemy according to the Bible. So again, for thus say the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, you have sold yourselves for naught, and you should be redeemed without money. And no type of reparations coming from our enemy within this modern society will not heal nor redeem us. Only Yahushua is given that title and permission to do so. And that takes me right to 1 Timothy 6:17. Charge them that are rich in this world that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. So our people within the ancient times were dealing with gold and silver, which is considered as real value or money. Then how much more these Federal Reserve notes, this paper money? It's uncertain, meaning it's subject to change. And it will change very soon. That's going into this great reset. So nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. And that goes into those spiritual riches, which is the deep knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Something that's going to be considered way more value and precious within these end times, especially going into the times of Jacob's trouble and the hour of temptation. Because according to the book of Proverbs, the 11th chapter, riches profit not in the day of wrath. And that takes me right to Ecclesiasticus 31:5. He that loveth gold should not be justified, and he that followeth corruption should have enough thereof. So again, back in the ancient times, and our people was going that hard for gold and silver and other different precious possessions at that point in time, then how much more has this American dollar has been the ruin of many? As it's stated within 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Verse 6, gold have been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. It is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, and every fool should be taken therewith. Which takes me right back into the caption of this photo. The shit we did for the money might be hard to believe. And ultimately, these carnal riches became your stumbling block. Because that covenant with death that you made with Esau Edom is going to neglect you for receiving salvation when Yahushua returns via his second coming. So therefore, you have to go through that second death in order to be brought back as new babies with a spiritual new mindset within the next kingdom to come, which is the kingdom of heaven. So with that, hopefully you all edified, you all stay strong, keep pushing forward. Shalom.